Hi, I'm Susan Drake, and I'm one of your instructors this fall.
And my name is Joanne Reed, and I'm a co-instructor with Susan.
So we're really looking forward to meeting you, and welcome to the course. You can see we're kind of in a unconventional background when you think about education, but this is one of the few times that Joanne and I are actually together. So we're talking about the course and working on it and making our final revisions for it. And we're really lucky because we're now up at Joanne's cottage.
We'd like to just outline briefly a few things about the course, and then some of these aspects will become more clear as we go through the course. First of all, we'd like to sort of place the course in a philosophical position by describing to you what we think is important. So we come from a constructivist background, which encourages active engagement and your own personal meaning making. And we apply certain principles to the course that we hope you will accept and apply for yourself.
We have been doing this course for many years. At first we did it for K-12 and worked a lot with school boards and actually educational jurisdictions around the world, and built this philosophy on education and curriculum and assessment embedded into the curriculum. So then in the last 4 or 5 years, we've been teaching this at the adult learning level. We've learned a lot along the way. We've learned a lot from the students about what's relevant for you. And so we've made a number of revisions from the basic concepts that we developed for K-12. And we think you'll find them relevant because according to past students, the kinds of things we're going to offer you are the things that are happening in your workplaces now.
On that note, I'd like to add that, as Susan pointed out, we have learned from previous students, and we do appreciate the feedback you give us at the session and at the end of the course to help us improve, which is one of the reasons why the course is constantly being revised, and there will be a few changes probably along the way as we go.
This course, the evolution of this particular course is Joanne and I started it off, as I said, 4 or 5 years ago, and then Candace Figg became involved with it.
Good point.
You're going to see Candace along the way. She made a number of videos that we think really help with the learning and make it come more alive. Candace brought in as well a different instructional philosophy, as that's what her PhD was in, whereas where ours was in curriculum. Our work is in curriculum and assessment primarily.
Okay, the course is divided roughly into 2 parts, almost by half. The first part is more focused on theory, and each session will likely ask you to respond to a forum question and invite discussion through forum about some of these theoretical concepts. And the second half is more focused on the application of the knowledge and skills you've learned in the design of a curriculum that you design for yourself and possibly even for your workplace.
And we want this all to be very interactive. You'll be working in buddy groups right from the beginning, and it's really important that you get your work in on time, and that you give feedback to your buddies and they give feedback to you, because that's how you learn, and that we build upon that all of the time. Is there anything else they need to know about that?
Oh, well, I'm sure we're leaving something out, but
the assignments generally we don't have an assignment guide in this course. All of the assignments we have put in the assignment tool, which is also where you will post your finals. There's a video that goes along with what each assignment is. The descriptions are in the assignments tool, except for one. There's one exception, and that's the learning fair. In the middle, just past the middle, we have a learning fair where you present part of your curriculum, the macro part of your curriculum, and you will be giving feedback to other people during that period of time. So that has its own tab that will be on the one side of the page, and you can look at it for examples. So for all of the assignments, you can look into the assignments tool, and you will find the description of the assignment. You'll find the assessment tool, and for most of them, you will find an exemplar that has often been annotated that will tell you exactly how you can do the best that you could do.
Previous students have sort of given us the idea that sometimes when they first begin the course, it's a little bit overwhelming, especially when they look at the big project. So we want to reassure you that it may seem like, whoa, a lot going on, but it's broken into pieces that we develop along the way. You get lots of feedback, and our whole idea is that by the end of the project, or sorry, by the end of the course, you will have built these components up, and you will have had many opportunities to revise them, and so everyone will be very successful.
We're using a principle in this course called backward design, which means we want you to know right from the very beginning what we're expecting at the end. And although there's a number of assignments, the main assignment is the curriculum design that Joanne just described.
So more about that later. There go the kids.
So you can see we're at a cottage. No, one more thing about that though. We're going to ask you at the very beginning to look at what that curriculum project looks like at the end. And you might look at it and go, oh, I can't understand any of that. And that's a normal reaction, especially if you're not working day by day in curriculum design. So don't worry about that. Just we want you to have a general overview, a general picture. Don't panic that you don't understand everything that's in front of you. That's why you're here. That's why we're here, so that we can teach you and we can learn together.
Yeah, that's right. Inevitably, though, there may be times where you do have a few questions or things you want clarified, or you just are confused. So there are a couple of ways that you can communicate with us. One is through messages in Sakai, and we can set up a time to use Teams or even the phone, whatever, to talk to you individually. The other is a sort of office hour that will be on Tuesdays at 7:30. The first one, the first Tuesday, will be in week 2. We sort of like to think of it as a social, get to know each other, meet each other session. And then the other following sessions they can still be social, but maybe a little bit more directed at what we need to work on for that week. Attendance is totally optional, and you come and go as you like. We like it when people come and talk to us, and we get to know who you are.
So I think that's about it for the things we want to tell you at the beginning. We want you, of course, to go to session 1, to go to look at the material, the introductory material, and then go to session 1 and start in on it. The first week is a short week. Yeah. So there's a lot in that week. So perhaps you started ahead of time before the actual opening date. That will be good too.
That's assuming we're all ready, which we hope we will be.
We have not posted the whole course at the very beginning because for a number of reasons, but one of them is we don't want you working too far ahead because we need to get feedback from each other. And so if we have somebody working ahead 10 lessons, it's not going to really work because they won't get their feedback at the appropriate time. So you will not see all of the course lessons laid out at the very beginning, but we will open them on time for you to get when you need them.
Yeah, and a part of that also is the buddies. We're going to be randomly putting you into a buddy group, but inevitably people shift and some new students come in and some people leave, and sometimes we have to reconfigure the buddies. So again, that's another reason not to get too far ahead and then you find that you're giving feedback to the wrong group or a different group or whatever.
Or for part of that, when you're doing the reflections, we've called the critical discourse. I know you're used to critical discourse, but it got very confusing in this course because we had curriculum design as well, and people were using CD, and you didn't know which one you were talking about. So we've changed the name of the critical discourse to reflections, just so that we can clarify between the two of them. So it's maybe helpful if you move ahead in your reflections that you keep it all someplace on a Word document so that you can post it when you need to. Anything else, Joanne?
Oh, there's probably a million things we need to say, but we're coming up to 10 minutes, and that's probably enough of your time. So thank you for joining us, and we look forward to more discussions and more engagement as we go along. Good luck.
So see you in September.
Oh, there's a song.
Bye-bye.
Bye.